Okay, so welcome. My name is Sigourney Belle and I am the author of The Motherwild Revolution, Cultural Change Through Generational Activism. I wanted to come on here today and just speak to you a little bit about why I wrote this book and what are some of the core kind of teachings that I incorporate into and write about in this book, and also who can it benefit, what audiences can benefit from reading this book. And also I just wanted to share my heart and a little bit of my personal journey as well. So this book was really a byproduct of my journey of matrescence, or my journey of from moving from maiden to mother, and all of the things that I learned along the way. So I guess just to give you a little bit of context as to who I am and why I decided to write this book. I have a 12-year background in the field of working with the mind-body-spirit connection, and really my work in the world is around bridging neuroscience with spirituality. So I have a body of work called Soma Mystica, which has globally accredited trainings that really bridge these different fields, the field of somatics and trauma healing work, and also the field of esoterics and spirituality. So I worked for 8 years in the medical system as a physiotherapist that specialized in both women's health and also neurology. And I have also worked in multiple different spiritual fields and have had a variety of different, learned from a variety of different teachers and lineages of spirituality, including Tibetan Buddhism, yoga therapy, Ayurveda. I'm a medical astrologer, and I've really specialized in the field of energetics. And so anything that I do, I teach, I write about really comes from this lens. And so this is something I really bring into the Motherwild Revolution. I speak about, the journey of moving from maiden to mother and all of the profound changes that occur within a mother's nervous system, neurological system, the changes that occur in the brain as we transition from maiden to motherhood. And just one example in particular is that during pregnancy and when we become a mother and in the postpartum phase, our whole nervous system completely rewires. And this is very intentional because it basically switches us from more of our, prefrontal cortex, logical mind into really our instinctual brain. So there's this process called synaptic pruning where, we start to lose connections to these parts of the brain that, work with our higher logic. And all of the parts of the brain that are to do with our primal instincts become larger, more innervated. And so this is really to bring a mother into her primal instinctual nature so that she can protect her young. And so a part of the journey of moving from maiden to mother is, it's not just a psychological journey or, something that we have to mentally adapt to and change. It's actually a physiological change. And this is something that, is not well taught or educated on. Not many of us know this. And, it's also why I'm really passionate about mothers, for the first 2 years minimum postpartum, is really building a life and a lifestyle where you can actually stay at home and be with your child during those years, because you are neurologically designed in that postpartum stage, and particularly the first 2 years, to be in constant communion and connection with your child so that they can develop safety in their nervous system. Because your nervous systems during that period, during that first 2-year period, are not separate. Energetically, they're not separate. So a child does not know themselves and has not developed their own energetic fields separate to their mothers in that first 2 years postpartum. And so we're really designed to be operating as a unit during that time. And this is really fundamental to set a child's nervous system up for safety, which actually sets them up for life, for having a baseline of safety in their nervous system, or a somatic sensation of connection to safety in their nervous system throughout their entire life. And so this is something I'm so passionate about, something that I did with my daughter. I stayed home with her. I'm still home with her. It's been 4 years. And, I really built myself up to and created a life where I could actually commit to that as well. And so, just to track back, something that I'm passionate about is, educating on the neuroscience of matrescence and the changes that occur when moving from maiden to mother. And also some of the spiritual changes that occur. Like, I talk about the spiritual journey of pregnancy and some of the shamanic aspects of pregnancy and birth and postpartum. And really, like, when I think about my journey of motherhood, I wasn't prepared. I had never planned to be a mother. It wasn't something that I was necessarily desiring for myself. I was very career orientated. I had very big visions for myself and my career. And so when I found out I was pregnant, it was actually a whole shattering of my identity. And it is anyway. For mothers, it really totally shifts our priorities and our value systems. And it really does, it is an ego death. And that begins in pregnancy. But I wasn't prepared, and I wasn't really someone to read books on, pregnancy and motherhood. I didn't really want to fill my brain with too much information. I wanted to dive in head first and experience it for myself and learn along the way. And that's something that I did. And I had really profound teachers around me and guides and mentors. My doctor is Dr. Oscar Serelak, who created or is the founder of the postpartum depletion theory. And, he's featured in Goop. And he speaks about, a lot about how postpartum depression is actually postpartum depletion. And most mothers in postpartum period are extremely depleted. And, there's the statistic of, I should get this right, but it's around 60% of women experience CB, PTSD postpartum, which is childbirth PTSD. And don't even know about it. It's not diagnosed. It's only actually recently become something that's been recognized in neuroscience as a diagnosis. And if we think about it, it's because childbirth is traumatic. A woman's body has to go through immense changes to birth a child. And, for a lot of women, that doesn't go as expected, and there might be surgical procedures required, etc. And we're just expected to, be okay and to go back into normal life or the workforce. We're not prepared for, the journey that is a total life transition and shift. Even the neurological changes that I was talking about before are permanent changes. And so we don't go back to normal. And so the whole notion in Western society that women should just bounce back or return to normal is totally flawed. And so I share about, these ideologies in my book. I'm extremely passionate about it. I'm extremely passionate about natural medicine as well. And so I weave through different, natural medicine formulas and practices that you can use to support yourself to particularly move through pregnancy and postpartum from a place of vitality instead of depletion. And how that is actually central to the health of the child's development of the nervous system too, because the child is entrains to you and your nervous system and is a mirror of you. And so if you're in depletion, stress, burnout, postpartum, which most mothers are, the child's nervous system develops in that state of dysregulation as well, because we're not separate. Our child is not separate from us. And so this is something, I'm just incredibly passionate about, and I share about in detail in my book. And so this book is really for mothers, those that are already mothers to be, people that are supporting mothers that want a deeper insight into this transition. I would even go as far as to say, I've had fathers read this book to gain insights into the journey of women and what they go through during motherhood, who have had really profound aha moments reading the book and actually gaining insight into the whole, the world of the mother and what's actually going on inside of a mother's brain and body that creates these changes in behavior actually that impact the family unit. There's a high rate of separation, relationship separation and divorce in that first 2 years postpartum. And that's because, there is so much changing within our brain and nervous system, and our priorities change and our value systems change, and relationships have to reshape. And, if as a woman and a mother, if our nervous systems are not well looked after and we are in depletion, that creates extreme emotional dysregulation, far more than what you would experience normally, because it's on a background usually of no sleep, of stress, of deficiencies, mineral deficiencies. Creates extreme dysregulation. Something called, I speak about something called mother rage, which is a type of rage that goes beyond normal rage. It's such a deep primal form of rage that is so normal for mothers to experience. And for those that are around mothers, whether it be the father of the child or extended family, it's really important you understand what's going on for the person that you're supporting, the mothers that you're supporting. So it's for those that actually support mothers as well, or are surrounded by mothers and want to understand about their journey. And so if you are interested in learning more or in reading my book, I have some incredible contributors, including David Bedrick and Jane Hardwick Collins that wrote the foreword, Dr. Isaac Golden, who wrote the appendix. He's a internationally renowned and known homeopath that works with homeopathic prophylaxis, so homeopathic vaccinations, and also vaccine reversals for vaccine damage. He's written a whole appendix in my book that's super useful to read if you're considering an alternative to vaccinating your child. My daughter's not vaccinated, and so I go over the evidence base for that as well, because it's actually not quite but nearly the same amount of coverage against diseases. It has nearly the same efficacy, scientific research base and efficacy as vaccines themselves. So we go into this. It's not just a book on the spiritual journey of motherhood, it also bridges spirituality and neuroscience together. And so my offering to you is, if this is a topic that interests you, is to purchase this book off the Muse Oracle site, Muse Oracle Press, who is my publisher, and to dive in. It shares a lot about my personal journey as well, so it's not just this objective view on motherhood. It is really coming from this inside experience of what I journeyed through motherhood and what I have to offer from my heart, as well as bridging that with what it is that I intellectually understand about this journey of matrescence and what I've learned through multiple experts in the field. So I hope you enjoy, and please share with me any takeaways, any insights you gained. Please leave a review if you've loved the book. That really helps us to spread the message on this really important topic. Thank you.